Howdy, welcome to Family Friendly Foods. Today we're going Italian. I worked at Casa Gersani, I worked at Vincenzo, I'm German. Hello to you Italians. And today we're going to make lasagna, and you'll hear that story in a little bit. And we're going to make a pasta called aglio e olio, which doesn't mean anything but garlic and olive oil. And we're going to learn to make a risotto. Kirby,
what's today?
This is Chef Nancy's lasagna, and it's got a story. Somebody wanted some lasagna one day, and they wanted it like in 2 hours. Now you can't make marinara in 2 hours.
No,
you can't
but you can
do
buy
that.
A jar in.
Exactly. So what I did is I ran to the grocery, and I came up with this recipe, and I found out. I even taught this recipe at Home of the Innocents to the aftercare program. I found out through some of the social workers I work with.
Yes.
25 years, not 25, I'm not that old.
Well.
15, shut up, Kirby. 15 years later, they're still using this recipe.
All right, well, you're going to find this fascinating and probably not believe it, but I do make a mean lasagna, so I'm going to be curious to see if how mine compares.
Okay, this will be fun. So you're going to be helping me with this. Right now, I'm sauteing a little mushroom and onion, and what I'm trying to do is just cook it down a little bit, because this is going in one of the layers.
Okay.
All right, now I've got a lot of stuff here and only have a small lasagna pan. And the reason I call that small is because I'm used to commercial size.
Well, you used a commercial-sized frying pan earlier in one of our recipes, and I had never seen anything quite so large.
Did I get it on you?
No,
Oh,
but
darn
I'm wearing
it.
my fancy pink top today, which was not well thought out.
If you will put some on the bottom of this
Sure
one.
thing, I can do this.
And why don't we do it like that instead of
all right.
what I did and just roll it around.
All right.
I think that should be enough.
And
Maybe
here's
not.
where our recipes differ.
I've got another jar, so
See, that's not
help
enough.
yourself.
All right.
I cooked some ground beef, 80-20, and you might say, well, there's a little pink piece here and there.
There's a little pink piece here and there.
I'm cooking the lasagna for an hour, okay?
Okay.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Now, I'm going to ask you, put these down, please.
All right.
Please,
Now, I
please.
would put them down
Right.
like that.
That's fine.
All right.
These are the pre-cooked noodles. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one side.
Look what I did. I already got it all over myself.
All right, let's put down some marinara on each layer. And we're going to use grated mozzarella and ricotta. And I've got another jar of that, so we're in good shape. And what I'm going to do after she puts that down, we're going to put about a half a pound or less, since we're making 2 of them. All right, now we've got that. Do we think we need any more of this?
We can have a little
Yeah,
more.
let's do a little
All
bit
right.
more, because we've got another jar. You can almost pour it in if you need to. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a spoon and we're going to do some mozzarella and some ricotta. I've got low-fat ricotta here because that's a good thing to have. So if you will get another clean spoon to use that to put, I think we can use a little bit more marinara. I really do.
Okay.
I don't think so.
You know, I put an egg in with my ricotta. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
Okay.
Where'd you hear that?
I don't know. I don't know why I do that, actually.
Now, I'm going to show you, you just need to dot it with this.
Okay.
Okay? And I'm going to let you do that.
Gladly.
Now, this is just 2 cups of mozzarella. See, people get carried away when they make this stuff.
I have to say I probably do.
Okay, now,
See,
we're going to
carried
put
away.
the next layer.
Okay.
And this layer, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be the Alfredo layer. Now, y'all saw me sauteing mushrooms and onions. Now, this is totally different, and this is the key to making this seem like you went way out of your way. I'm going to take my Alfredo sauce. We're going to do this layer.
As a mother, I love making lasagna because you can just put it back in the refrigerator and just
Make
say,
it when
go
you're
get
ready.
yourself some lunch.
All right, now, I know this already has cheese in it, but since we're being so careful,
Yes.
we can add some of that Parmesan cheese.
All right.
To this layer.
Are we going to sprinkle it on?
Yes. All right, now, we only have 3 of these left.
Oh, no. Did I do something wrong?
Well, I don't know. But you know what?
What?
Your layer is going to be a little different.
Okay. Lovely.
You're just going to have a 2-layer pasta.
Good.
All right, now, put this,
Should I finish this one off?
yes, and then we're going to pour this and go with the cheese again. I'm going to get this out of the way. Now, we just need a little bit left for the top, so.
Oh.
Don't you put a little bit on the top?
Well, isn't that
Oh,
the
we don't have a
top?
top.
This is the top.
That's all right. This is going to be fun. Be a little bit of an experiment.
That's the way most of my cooking is.
Now, normally I would put another layer of pasta on top, but because we made 2 of them instead of 1, I'll do this.
Yes?
You do the ricotta, as Giada would say. I like how she goes from English to Italian. Have you ever watched Giada's show?
No, is her accent or her food?
Yeah, because everybody in her family's from Italy. Oh, you know what? We forgot the stupid meat.
Well.
I want to put these in the oven, and normally I would bake it for about an hour. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Do you put aluminum foil on it?
Yes. And what I'm going to do with the aluminum foil is spray it with pan spray.
Oh, is that so the cheese doesn't stick to it?
Absolutely. Kirby,
Yes.
we're doing aglio e olio.
Aglio-olio.
Isn't that fun to say?
Aglio-olio.
I've got my favorite pasta. You can do it with any pasta you want. I like these twists because they have a hole in them like macaroni.
These are nice.
And
where do you buy these?
I got them at Value Market.
You did? Okay.
And they hold the sauce. Aren't they good? Mm-hmm. And
just like that.
they're excellent.
All right.
You can do anything you want with this. We're making it into a primavera. We've got some yellow squash and some zucchini. You could cut up a tomato, anything you want. Red bell pepper, it doesn't matter. The key is the pasta, the olive oil, the garlic, and water from the cooked pasta. And you'll see this water, I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's sort of cloudy.
Yes.
That's the starch from the pasta.
Okay.
Okay, now,
What do we do?
what we're going to do is we're going to get the oil hot, and we want to put the garlic in it, and we're going to let the garlic go real slow because we're going to put water in it and let it reduce. And once we know that garlic flavor is all in oil, we're going to saute our vegetables.
Okay. Good.
And it's so simple.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go. Let's cook, sister. Ms. Kirby,
Yes.
I'm ready for my garlic.
Here's your garlic, ma'am.
Now, the stove isn't level, so I'm going to put it in on one side.
And
And the
oh, I see, because your oil is all down there. Okay.
yeah, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to make sure it's in that oil. We're going to be using a lot of oil in this.
And you said that's a real slow process?
Yeah, I don't want to do it on high. And then I'm going to take my water. So I'm going to let this cook down just a little bit and get all that garlic flavor. Now, one of the things I need is in here is some salt. Now, I salted the pasta like the ocean. So
A lot, that means, right?
Right.
I've
and
learned
I'm
that
putting
through the
salt
years
in
with you.
here.
Do you need any more of this pasta water? Or are you gonna
I
be done?
don't think so
All right,
now.
I'll set it down then.
And I'm going to let this, see how crooked this stove is?
My stove's like that at home too.
Is it? Well, that's all right. We just cook to one side then, right?
Exactly, you just make do.
And I'm letting this cook. Now, here's the deal. If you've got fresh herbs, at the very end, when you put the green onions in, you'll use the fresh herbs. So this is boiling, and what it's doing is, what's going on is all the flavors coming out of the garlic into this oil and water.
Why don't we do this all the time?
Because you need a lot of water and a lot of oil. Smell it. Can you smell it?
Oh, yes, I can.
Isn't that one?
Yes.
All right, let's go with the vegetables.
Some yellow squash.
And some green zucchini. And if you had a fresh tomato, you would put that in at the end too. Okay?
I'll just stand over here and watch.
Okay, good deal. We're cooking this down, and pretty soon there's not going to be much water left, and that's what we want. We're reducing it. We're adding flavors. Some people might want to add wine to it. I don't. I want this just the way it is. Now, when I make my risotto, you have to add wine. Those are the rules.
Oh, okay. That's how, that is a ingredient in risotto is wine.
Right. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't like mushy vegetables.
Yeah, I'm with you. But I don't like them way undercooked either.
No. So what I'm looking for here, see how that's starting to get translucent and you can start seeing the seeds? So what we're going to do next.
Pasta?
Yes. Now, when you cook the pasta, you save some of the water and you don't rinse the pasta. You make this dish right away.
Okay.
Okay? Because then you rinse all the flavor off the pasta. Now, I've got that in there and I'm going to stir it all in. And let's go on and put the onions in. And the onions is when you'd add the pesto.
And any fresh herbs?
And any fresh herbs or...
How much garlic did you cut up? Was it just one
Oh,
clove?
I forgot to tell you.
Yeah.
I cut up 3 large cloves.
Okay, 3 cloves.
Okay.
I'll taste it too. Make sure it's okay.
It's not quite there yet.
It's starting to taste very nice and garlicky though. But
Yeah.
light, not as heavy garlic. I am loving how simple this is.
Isn't it simple? And you can put any vegetables or no vegetables. And sometimes when I make it, maybe I've got some Italian sausage, you know, a sweet Italian sausage that I'll cut up and put in
I want
it.
to have a little hand in this. There we go.
Okay.
I would probably I would put twice as much vegetables in that.
Well, that's why, Kirby, the recipes we use are the recipes we use. Because you can own them and make them yourself.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a black bowl I want to put this in.
I'll
It's
get
an
that black bowl for you.
Okay. We're back. It's the family-friendly food twins.
Yes.
And we're going to garnish with a little bit more parm. And again, if you've got fresh basil, if you've got pesto, anything you can put in this. And we're going to taste it. Oh.
What's the name of this dish again, Chef Nancy?
Aglio e olio. Garlic oil.
Hot, but very good.
It just came off the stove. Notice I took a girl bite. She took a mama bite because mothers can only eat 3 bites at dinner before they have to do something. But I love this stuff. You can put anything you want in it.
Delicious. Thank you. Another great recipe.
I would add in the summer or now I would use a Roma tomato. In the summer, I'd use one out of my garden and put it in there at the top. Don't let the tomato cook.
Right, so you would just put that in there as you were plating it?
Yes.
Got it. Delicioso.
With the top of the parm. Okay, now it's time for risotto. Okay, risotto. Now, first, when you make it, you've got to use a Borio rice. It is the Italian rice. It's a short rice, and it's like a sticky rice. Risotto is a method. There's 3 methods of cooking rice. You have what we're used to, the boil method, and that's called simmer, where you bring it up to a boil, simmer it, and cover it. We have the other method is pilaf. And what you do is you cook the rice, not on the stove, but you get it ready. You heat the liquid up, put it in with the rice, put it in the oven and bake it. So pilaf is baked. Now, the third method is risotto. What I have in here is some butter and some olive oil because I'm making it really rich. And all day today I've been using extra virgin olive oil. They're all different. Extra virgin is the first clean squeeze of the olive. And you then have virgin, and then you have regular olive oil. If you're gonna buy light olive oil, use canola oil. It's silly. It's just don't even buy light olive oil. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first when you make it, I want about 1/2 cup of diced onion. And I'm using a white onion or yellow onion because it's the least expensive. And this is just what you do. Now I'm gonna saute it. And when it's almost done, I'm gonna put my arborio rice in it. Now here's a scoop. I'm gonna put the arborio rice in it, and I'm gonna make sure it's covered with the oil and butter mixture, and it gets really yummy. Then I'm gonna deglaze some with some white wine. I'm not gonna use a cup, not even 1/2 cup, probably about 1/4 of a cup. But it's traditional to deglaze with white wine. I've got some chicken stock over here, and it's usually about 3 cups of chicken stock to 1 cup of arborio rice. And I'm gonna add, I've got it heated on low, and I'm gonna add a ladleful at a time. I'll keep stirring it, and the rice will absorb it. Now I'm not using any salt because my chicken stock I'm using is one that was bought and it has salt in it. And I do salt at the end if I think it needs it. It usually doesn't, because I also add Parmesan cheese. And Parmesan cheese, the old cheeses that are aged like that, usually have a pretty salty flavor. So I've got my onions, and they're cooking quite well. The olive oil and butter mixture is absorbing the flavor of the onion. Like when I did the aglio e olio, the olive oil and water were absorbing the flavor of the garlic. So I've got a cup of arborio rice, and I'm gonna pour it in, and I'm gonna stir it up and get it all coated. I don't know if y'all can see how this is, but oh, it's gonna be so good. Turn up just a little bit, and I'm gonna get my white wine. Now, what I usually use is a Pinot Grigio, because then I'll have it with dinner. I couldn't reach the Pinot Grigio. So what have I got? I've got some Chardonnay. Okay, I'm short, if y'all haven't noticed that. I'm gonna put a little bit in there, about 1/4 of a cup. Ah, you hear that? Now, it's absorbing. Now I'm gonna stir it in. And what I'm doing, because this is like sticky rice, I am making the gluten work in the rice. And once this is all absorbed, I'm gonna start adding my chicken stock. And I'm gonna turn it back on low so it stays warm. Now, if you'll see, only thing left is a little butter and olive oil. So I'm gonna add, and usually a ladle is about 4 ounces, which is 1/2 cup. And I'm gonna add another one. So I'm adding about a cup at a time, and I'm gonna turn this down to about medium. There's something about the white wine with the onion, with the butter and the olive oil and the chicken stock. I mean, it's amazing. Now I've got a little simmer going on here, which is what I want. I don't want a big boil. But you'll see already it's looking creamy. And I'm gonna keep stirring this until it's absorbed. And then I'm gonna go for some more. It's about time. I'm gonna go for some more liquid. And again, I'm gonna add about a cup at a time. So it's 2 ladles. And I'm gonna stir it in. You gotta stick with it, and you gotta keep stirring it. It's like when you make polenta. People make polenta like grits here in Kentucky. And it's like, no, you have to keep stirring it. Yes, I know it's like grits. I make polenta with Weisenberger grits all the time. But you have to stir it the whole time, because you've got to get all the good gluten going. I'm gonna try to show with a spoon how creamy this looks. Can you see how creamy it looks from that? See, it's getting kind of thick. See that? Oh, yeah. Now, risotto is more of a northern Italian dish. So you got the northern and the southern. When you think about it simply, it's northern Italian is mostly white sauces like the Alfredo and things like risotto, and southern are things like lasagna, the red sauces. And that's where a lot of the tomatoes grow. And you know, C in Italian is mer or mar, okay, M-A-R. I don't speak Italian, like I don't speak French very well. I can say the words, I just make it up with my southern accent. Anyway, but marinara is the mer part, or mar part, however you say it in Italian, means sea. So this is what a tomato sauce they'd make and send out with the fishermen who were out in the sea for a long time. Because usually, I mean, they're right there in the Mediterranean. So that's a little trivia history. Now, I've got most of this is absorbed again. And I'm going to go with my last trip. Usually I do it in 3 stages. And I know this takes a long time, but it's worth it. Remember, the love. Italians love to talk about love. Oh, maybe you didn't know that. Well, they do. That and they argue a lot. Nothing is like listening to Italians argue. But we're getting close to done. And risotto is normally a side dish. And again, in some restaurants, you might have a mushroom risotto. So with the onions, they'll put mushrooms in. And if it's any other kind of risotto, and usually it isn't, it's just like mushrooms, they put it in with the onions. And you always finish this with some good Parmesan cheese. Now, I've been using a good Parmesan cheese all day that was grated and put in a plastic tub. And that's what I like, the freshly grated Parmesan. And you can get that, I mean, I get it at Value Market. Or sometimes I'll get a chunk, a good Parmesan, and I'll use my little zester with it and put it over stuff. But this stuff I was making today, I wasn't grating that much Parmesan. Sorry. And I'm going to keep stirring, and we're going to be ready in about 5 minutes. Okay, we're almost there. Now, I'm going to add some Parmesan and stir it in. Oh, look at this. You all, this is beautiful. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the burner off, and I'm going to put it in a bowl, and I'm going to garnish it with a little green onion because it has onion in it. All right, I've got my risotto. Oh, look how creamy this is. Oh, the smell is amazing. But the trick is you've got to keep stirring it. You can't just say, oh, I'll just cover it. That's not the way this works. A little garnish. I'm going to taste it. Oh my gosh. The flavor is so amazing. It's not real oniony. It's got that parm, but the texture of the rice. It's soft, but it's still a little chewy. And oh, I just can't describe it. It is wonderful. You've got to make some risotto. You have to. Those are the rules. Now we're going to cut up some lasagna. Here is our lasagna. I've let it sit for about 15 minutes because if you don't, well, you know what happens. It just falls everywhere. Now, I'm going to cut it around the edges first because I forgot to spray the pan. Now, I'm going to cut it down to the middle. Let's see if I can get this out of here without messing it up. There we go. And here we have with our lasagna. Ladies and gentlemen, Chef Nancy's lasagna a la marinara and Alfredo. It shouldn't be too hot since I'll let it rest. Yummy. And you know what? This is really fattening, but it is so good. And you saw how simple it was to make. And actually, one box of the no-cook lasagna noodles, you need 2 if you're going to make 2 lasagnas with this. And you can. And then you freeze one, or you give one to a friend. Thank you so much. And as they say in Italy, mangia, or something like that. That's the Kentucky way of saying it. It's M-A-G-I-A, and it means eat. I'll just say eat. Have a great day.